Our clan once helped those in need.
That was before our Tsahik killed instead of healed. The Sarentu no longer walk among us. Only liars.
Why would they lie? Their mark is clear.
Enough! You desecrate the memory of our Sarentu friends. In any case, she is in seclusion, far from here, and not to be disturbed. Be on your way, imposter. We have no need of you here.
Not everyone agrees with Mokasa's methods. Meet me at the Circle of Ancestors, where Ewa shows us the way.
And stuff, and you making all this money and stuff, but you don't pay the rent. I don't understand what's up with these kids these days. Like, you got a job, you making money, and you don't want to pay the rent where you live at.
Yeah,
What
that's
is all about?
crazy.
Like you want somebody to take care of you or something, whatever. Like, nigga,
Bad thinking is gonna get you, but man,
we gotta pay our bills too. If we don't pay our bills, we don't have nowhere to sleep or eat.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, first thing I want to do is call mom and run back home and all that shit.
We meet never seen a Sarentu. Never thought I would. Then you walked into the heart of the Kametire, as if it was nothing.
I didn't know.
What? That everyone blames us for the dead Sarentu.
But wasn't it the RDA that took us? You don't need to hide.
We're not hiding. The clans turned their backs on us. And now, Mokasa is our only guide. Our Tsahik Anufi is lost in her own darkness.
Anufi? How do I find her?
Nobody ever sees Anufi. Mokasa forbids it. She stopped fighting for us a long time ago.
But if I could just talk to her.
Maybe. Seeing a Sarentu
Yeah,
will
I
bring
mean,
her
where
back
you
to
gonna go
us.
that you gonna be at a
She has a
studio?
place beyond the Great
This
Falls
day and age.
behind the
Remember when we used to
capital.
go on that
If you
backside over
find
there
it,
by
tell her Satne sent you.
the Brentwood's? Was that the Brentwood's we was at? Remember the backside where they had the little studio that was had them on like 450 over there in Renton, going up towards Vincent and all that. Yeah, remember if you go on that backside way.
I must not
Oh, you
linger
mean
in the
by the gas
hollows.
station back there?
Yeah, but it's like start at the bottom of the hill, like in Renton, way up in Renton, and then you come down that back way. When you come on that backside, it'll
By the station?
it'll be on the right hand side. It'll be a bunch of like it's a little area that says 450, one bedroom, studios. It say studios, 450 studios. I'm like, if they were charging
Welcome
450
back.
studios back then, that was over 10 years ago. How you gonna get a studio for less than that? So whoever's saying 200 is 200 for two
Come
people,
see
shit,
my new
No,
you
for
can't
items.
get.
free.
Let me see what I can
Her mom's
share.
only here to pay 200 per person for her, him, and the baby.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I said, oh,
She wanted them all to pay like that.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know. You are in a position where you need
Right.
your
She
mama
just
really
got to
don't
get it.
need y'all staying there. That's the other side of the coin that people don't see. They never take into consideration that your mama don't really need you staying there.
Well, she did. Because this is the same daughter who was like dropping everything for her and like taking her to doctor's appointments and
Oh, okay.
just
Well,
doing
that's
everything
something
for her.
different
The other
then.
kids was like, nope,
That's something
keep
different
getting in my
then.
car and
Yeah,
stuff or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's just like,
yeah, that's
oh
something
wow.
different.
But truth is, I mean, I don't know the dynamic of everything. So I'm like, maybe she's telling me for a reason. What you do to her?
Mm.
Oh, she was I didn't do nothing to her. I said, oh, okay. I'm not getting my business, but I'm pretty sure his mom is not gonna come with their kids like that. You know what I mean? I mean, well, I guess, yeah, kids are growing. and you got a job and shit. You know what I'm saying? She's like, but I do everything for her. Like, I was like, well, maybe because you got a package, because you don't go do it with you.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
you should be
You can't
taking
get
care of
mad
you.
at your
He should be
pops
making sure
or your mom
that
if they say that no, because you got somebody that's supposed to be taking care of you. What the fuck are you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And I feel like this. I would help, but y'all gotta be married for me to help. Especially for y'all to think y'all finna come and invade my personal space. Fuck no. I'm not doing that for a boyfriend. You and the baby, yeah, y'all welcome, you know what I'm saying? But not for your boyfriend. I told my daughter that. I said, yeah, nah, your boyfriend can't stay here. Y'all ain't married. If y'all was married, then that'd be a whole nother story. You guys be a family, a total package, and I'll be putting a family together. It's not, that's an incomplete. Because at any second, you guys can say fuck each other. I mean, you can do that as a family too, but it's less likely you gonna decide to say fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel about it.
Disrespectful. But they say no everything. Everything going around. Like, yeah, back and forth. And nothing out of generation. That's why when you show me that video of the them pretending to be the nurse that died, that shit was funny as hell.
Mm.
Because it's the truth. Because that's exactly how each generation be acting too. If you leave, you looking at you like, oh, you don't want to be here? Okay, but just go ahead and sign the paper. You know. I was
They
laughing.
were showing you the further back you went, the more people cared. That's what people. That's one part aspect people was
Yeah.
not getting out of it. Yeah, they snappy and all that, but I was getting more of the fact that the further back you went, the more people seemed to care. They had their attitude too, but they seemed to like actually care about the patient's well-being. They
Yeah,
wouldn't make a
that's weird.
statement like sign this paper and get the hell out of here. They'd be like,
No,
no,
that's what,
I
no,
have to talk
that's
to
what
my
that's what
doctor.
that guy said for the GZ. That's what he
Mhm.
did.
I have to talk to my doctor before we release you because we have to make sure everything is good.
Sure.
Like you say, these motherfuckers like shit. You good? Shit, sign this paper.
No, that's what he said for GZ. It's like laughing.
Be
And then,
well.
I would definitely do that. Here, sign the paper so it covers our assets and you can't get in trouble because you
The
just don't want
sky
to take yourself
people,
out.
a plague on
Because
this
you know,
forest.
they never be holding you here. That's what people be failing to realize is that nobody be holding them at these hospitals. And these people be feeling like they'll be a counselor. It's like, nobody's holding you at the hospital. You can go
Tell it.
anytime you want to.
Right.
Except for whatever. It's just that when you guys be coming in here, some of these people be lying and shit. They'll be telling the real truth, like how they feeling and what's going on with it and stuff. And
There
it's
is
like,
no
okay,
such
yeah, the
thing as
doctors
lonely.
can
The trees
figure some
speak to
shit
me.
out because that's what science is for.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, the doctor only knows about you what you tell her.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's true.
And they don't know. Sure. They definitely like you. Oh, God, yes, that's why they always want to run tests. We can run this test. We can run this test. We can
Exactly.
run this one.
Yeah.
Sure, we're all experiments.
They ain't never lied.
Unless you run across a doctor who just flat out knows his shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just been in studying this shit, just dedicated to it.
Right.
And that's rare. Because nowadays, these doctors and shit gotta go by the protocols. That's why you don't see a lot of people banging on doors to be doctors and shit anymore.
Mm.
And stuff. And then if they do get in the profession, shit, 9 times out of 10, they have a mental breakdown. They end up quitting.
I need
Just
sharp
a bunch of
tools
different
as
shit,
well
man. It's
as a sharp
crazy. Just
mind.
watching this shit unfold. We just had a doctor who just came back from a mental breakdown because his ass just couldn't handle it. And I was like, you signed up for this shit. You signed up to be a doctor and work half part time in the hospital and part time in the clinic. You signed up for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he just, one day he came to work. You could tell something was bothering him or whatever. And I don't know, he stopped me and said
That
something
curve
to
is
me
not
and just
right.
asked me,
I
like,
must
do
rework
you
it.
know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? And I looked at him and I was like, Dr. Lula, yes, I know how to do this. Do you need this? I'm praying. And he was like, well, I'm just asking. I'm just, just checking and stuff, whatever. And I said, Dr. Lula, most of the work that you asked us if we know how to do, that you've been asking us if we know how to do for the last couple of weeks, these are things within the scope of our practice that we can do and stuff. I had a conversation with you before. Just told you, I know you want to be a great doctor, and I understand that, but you can't call every patient and stuff because it's going to overload on you. I was like, you need to pass the buck down to us so that we can take care of some of these calls and medications and stuff like that, so you don't get overwhelmed.
What he say?
And he looked at me, and I'm looking at him. I said, this is our job title. This is what we do. And he said, well, you might think, mate. I said, I said, yeah, we know. I know your inmate just flat out doesn't want to do it. And she's quite lazy. I said, we all know this because we all see it. And it's really a burden on you, but you should speak up and you should say something to someone, especially Eliza, because at the time, Eliza was our supervisor. Yeah, I told him that. Eliza was our supervisor. I said, we've all spoke up and said something to her. I said, if it comes from the doctor, you, yourself, I'm pretty sure she'll be apt to move her feet a little bit faster. I said, and you're in the greatest position because you work for the head of specialties, and he's in our clinic. So I would definitely go have a conversation with him. And he just looked at me and said, thank you. And I just looked at him like, this white boy, crazy. He, he's from overseas somewhere, or Germany or something like that or whatever. But his wife's like Asian and shit. I don't know, he's weird. But he came that day. He worked for like maybe a week and a half after that. He went out to Issaquah, and he worked out there for a couple of days, and then came back, worked one day at our clinic, and after that he was out.
Really?
Yep. I was like, damn. I was like, was it something I said? And then I looked back at the schedule. I said, oh, he took his ass back out to Issaquah. I was like, and that girl, she's fucking lazy. She don't do shit. I was like, that's wild. And then he was gone for a long time. And they would
This
tell the
leather
patient, we
needs
don't know
work.
when he's coming back and stuff or whatever. So they were taking his caseload and splitting it up between the doctors that were there.
Nice to see you.
And
I have just the thing for your
I don't
next
know, it was
adventure.
just weird. And then he ended up coming back in September, and now his he only has a certain amount of patients a day. He works 3 days a week. Well, before when he came back. Now, this year, he's only going to be 2 days a week, I believe, and one of them is a half a day.
It
And
lifts my
then the other
spirits
time
to
he's going
see
to be
the
in the
forest
hospital.
heal from sky people's
And
sickness.
well,
In need of something, yes?
if that I tell you, I told you,
Step softly.
I don't know what will. Because only certain people can support people. When they come up to our clinic, they get supported.
The
So
sky
like,
people, a plague on this
I'll
forest.
probably be contributing and helping, but I don't give a damn. I'll do my shit. My doctor stuff is done or whatever. I'm not sitting begging nobody for no help, none of the above, and I don't help nobody with their doctor shit no more.
I am
Because
looking forward to a
like
nice
that
brew
last
later.
lady, we had our meeting,
Because you
I
gonna
told her
burn out before they do.
exactly, and
They
they
gonna
don't give
ain't
a
never
fuck.
gonna stop giving you shit.
Nope. The lady was,
Yeah,
I
never
called
gonna
her
stop
herself
giving you
before she
shit.
left. And then she felt some type of way, but I didn't care. She was like, I said, can you explain what backup means? She said, huh? And I looked right at her like, you know what I'm saying? Can you explain what backup means? Because some people seem to think that backup means that the backup person's going to do my work. And I ain't got to touch nothing. I said, so can you please explain what backup means? And so there,
The gatherers can forage for healthy plants again
she
thanks
got
to
to
you.
explaining it.
I wish my
And
father
then
could
just
let
you know,
it
he's
go.
like, yeah, yeah,
Really?
I don't care. Because I'm tired of doing people's work. So
So,
I just got to the
what
point where I
is
had to
it you
stop.
need?
I'm not doing nobody else's work for me. I should have sit in there, and that's exactly what's been happening. The doctor should have sitting in there, and he be coming to me asking me about his work. And I'm like, I'm not your PMA. Why are you
Wow.
asking me? You're not doing it.
Right.
I don't care. Y'all let her make that choice to change people, and then you thought you was doing it. You thought you was doing
So
a
what? They
solid.
still not gonna let you get that position?
But the lead,
Yeah.
I told you, the lady told me, I have to be the senior for 6 months before they'll give me the lead because that's the protocol. I was like, why are you lying?
That sounds like a yeah. Sound like some
No,
bullshit.
I know she's lying because I looked it up. I asked that question specifically because I wanted to know. And it said, no, you don't have to go through all the other extra steps and stuff or whatever. Why was your supervisors on board with it? But what I'm not going to do is have you guys sitting up here trying to use me to do y'all's work for y'all,
Mm.
and then turn around and say they're not doing the position shit anymore.
That's crazy because they'll do that too.
I know. So
If
they're
you
doing
let
it.
them, they'll do that shit.
Fight well, warrior.
That's why I've been doing it.
Them motherfuckers will sit back and pretend like they doing shit while they watching you do the shit. They pointing at each other, laughing like it's funny and
Is it
shit.
so wrong to bring some cheer
Yeah, I'll
into
do
this
all that
grim
shit. I don't
place?
give a fuck.
Yep. See, like the other day, Dr. Barton asked if, she was like, is there any way
Sarentu,
we could get like a
you will
list of numbers
understand.
in the room for interview
Stories run
places
in
so
your
we could
blood,
fill it out?
as they
So the
do in
doctor
mine.
said Dr. Barton
I'm
sucks
not
at
much
this.
of a
It's like she
storyteller, to be
like
honest.
to do a
I
lot
do
of
like a
shit on
good
her
story,
own.
though.
But there are some
I will
days like
tell
she
you a
was real
tale
petty
of
too.
a poor
She'll just
Navi
throw a lot of
who
shit
only
in,
sought to bring
you
light
know, in the
into a
basket and
dark
stuff. And I'll be
world.
like, oh, I'm glad I'm not tripping, man, because
I
you're
built a
saving
stage for my clan
and stuff. So,
and told stories with my puppets.
um,
People flocked to my shows.
the
They
other
laughed,
lady,
they
she like
cried.
her asking me,
But
do you
then,
want to help me make
a
a
great
list? And I'm
silence,
looking at her,
a
and
shame.
I'm like,
We
no.
stepped back into the fog
I
and
don't
let
want
it
to make
close
a list.
around us.
Have your
I
next
had no
That's what
heart
she
to
said.
tell
So,
any tale
Right.
but tragedies,
so she want to be the lead, but
and
then
we had
she walking around
tragedy
here
enough.
following everybody.
No more did they come
I
for
think
my
she don't want
stories.
to.
The
She the
stage
lady
fell
who
to
keep
ruin
on
and
talking
rot.
about how
The
much work
puppets
she gotta do. But
I
she
gave
really
away
ain't
to the
doing
children
shit.
where they might still raise a
That was
faint
just like the
smile.
other day. She did not
They
want to.
have long since been cast away.
That shit was funny as hell,
We
baby.
all need
So,
stories. Who would tell them now if not you?
Candace was working on this,
That is the
she was
question
working on
I
a
keep
vascular
asking myself.
referral. And she asked me about it,
The
and I said,
stage I
well,
can rebuild,
first of all, I said the
but the
order was
puppets
put in wrong,
cannot
so
be
you need to
replaced.
ask Dr. Renton
Once
to put the
beloved,
order in. I said, I
they have
just
been
did a couple of
scattered
those.
as
She
those
said,
children
did you
grew
not? I
and
said,
forgot
no,
their
the nurse
dreams.
needs to go.
We were not
The
allowed
nurse
many
can go
toys
into the
or
thing
dreams
and
growing up.
approve it herself if the
I'd be glad to
insurance
help find your
company can't
puppets.
go in and approve
Thank
it.
you. I would
She
search
said,
for them
really? I
myself.
said, yeah.
But I
I
am not
said,
so young anymore. None of us are.
Eliza did a couple for me right before she left or whatever. And she was like, really? I said, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay. So she continues and stuff, and I was just like, okay, whatever, you're wasting your time. I'm telling you now. So I didn't say nothing after that. I just did my own work. I mind my own business. The girl comes out, Alicia, she said, I told you, blah, 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 blah. And so the girl was like,
I
well,
have
they're
much to
saying that
do
it's
to
not
grow
right
the
and it's
clan.
not put in right, blah, blah, blah. I said, because it's not an IR procedure. It is an IR procedure. but it has to be worded a different way. It's a vascular IR catheter removal and stuff, not an IR procedure. Because if it's an IR procedure, then that means that it could be anything. They could be going in for vein mapping. They could be going in for catheter placement. They could be going in for a lot of different things. Which one is
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean?
So how come you don't go nowhere with that shit?
Me?
All Awa's creatures thrive once more.
So,
Join our
well,
You
heart.
ain't
I
don't know.
could, but
If you know all the shit, it's all man. Most of that shit is just memorization.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And then once you prove to them you got memorization, they take your word for it.
true.
Cause they be lazy
Whatever
on everybody
you can
lazy
help
on
with,
some
of
level.
course.
Shit.
True.
You
True.
have my thanks.
If they got somebody
I
that they
worry
believe,
the
that's why
young will
motherfuckers be like,
forget our
damn, we
stories.
gotta have another meeting
I
because
hope you will
what is the
find my little
protocol?
ones.
We're supposed to
Perhaps they have
double
been left
check.
at campus.
Well, everybody knows that we know that Ebony's
Always
pretty much
suspicious.
damn near 100%.
We
You know what I
I
all
go
mean?
have
through
So,
things
person.
we regret.
Everybody comes to me, and the supervisors. I have people from other
so I
departments.
naturally didn't double check, and because of that, we got a
It's
How
crazy.
to
I have
make
like people
$100,000
from
something
other
lawsuit coming.
departments come
grows.
find me. They be like, "Are you Ebony?" I'm like, "Yes." And I'll look at them and look up. I was told you're the go-to person for Father to rock about him.
Mm,
And I'm like,
I'm like, but you can't
well,
stroke my
technically, I'm
ego
not
I
the
into
know
doing
go-to
all
something.
the
person, but I
masquerade.
can help you.
Right,
Let's do it or stuff or whatever. But
right.
it's crazy because that's why I was
I'm
like,
glad
so
our comitated manners did
that's
not
why I was
deter
tripping
you.
off of why do I have to be the senior inmate when everybody already comes to me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Which is really weird. But saying all this to say that girl sat up there and wasted her damn time just just to come and find out, like I said, the order was put in wrong. He didn't put it in right. It needed to be done over. The doctor needed to redo the whole order over and stuff or whatever. And both home fronts was being lazy. None of them wanted to run their insurance and stuff or whatever, which was stupid. And so she ended up having to redo the whole order. I was like, I told you. And she goes, to me, I didn't know. I said, well, you asked me and I told you and you didn't listen. But the other girl was like, I told you this. And Alicia had got a whole attitude behind it. And she was like, I told you this an hour ago. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, technically, you told her to do something, but the way that you told her to do it was not right. It was not correct, Alicia. And then she was like, well, I just don't like to, don't talk back to me. I said, well, don't tell them that. Why are you telling me? And stuff. I know how to defend myself. I know how to speak up for myself and tell you when your ass is wrong. I was like, that's crazy how you guys pick and choose who y'all want to talk shit to. I was like, that's not right. That's not okay. And so she was mad about that. And so then the next day, she was mad about that, but I was mad too because that was the day of Ranisha pissed me off, and I was like, you know what, bitch, I'm not doing shit for you. Don't ask me. So the next day, I was talking to the lead theater. I said, look, there's some things that's within my scope of practice, some things that are not. I said, I know what to do, but you got to take this call. And so I was explaining to her the situation, which it wasn't a lot, but she just simply was not listening. And so she picked up her phone and she was like, oh, my baby, oh, I got to go call my baby back. And then she was like, no, you're not. You're going to stand here. You're going to call this patient or you're going to call the doctor. And she said, excuse me? And she said, yeah. She was like, what you mean? She was like, you putting your baby over, your baby boo boo, whoever the hell, over a patient? She was like, I don't think so. And then Alethea looked and stopped and was like, oh. And me and Candace was looking at her, we were looking at them like, what you gonna do? So then she goes, don't talk to me like that. I was like, oh. I was like, that's your comeback? Don't talk to me like that? She was like, what do you mean don't talk to you like that? She said you was about to go call your baby boo boo and stuff. She said, no, I was about to call the doctor. She said, that's not what you just said. You just said you was going to go call your baby boo boo because he finally called you. She was like, so why are you lying? I was cracking up. I was like, damn. I was like, you did just say that again. That's why I was taking my hand like, you did just say you was going to go call your baby boo boo. You didn't think twice about this patient. And then you wonder why you don't have enough time to do shit because you sitting up there worried about this man who's in a whole different time zone, 12 and a half hours ahead of ours. He was doing too much. I was like, girl, that man is not worried about you. If he was worried about you, he'll call you, he'll text you, he'll do whatever you do. If you sitting up here on live 360 following this man every step, oh my God, he's with his mom in Kabbalah or whatever. He's with his mom here. He's with his mom there. I'm like, and how do you even know he's with his mama? I was so sad laughing. I'm like, girl, you funny. Get your shit together. That shit was funny. He was so mad that girl.
If it clears, we could go look at stars.
They have a new nurse started today and stuff. He's an older nurse and stuff. He's from the Philippines and stuff. Alicia likes him. I said, why are you liking Alicia? She said, because he cares. I said, oh, and he's not that girl competition for you? She said, no, there is no competition. I said, really? I said, okay. She was like, I said, really? I said that when she gave that man a hug in front of you, the look on your face was like, bitch, get off my man. I just looked at her and said, yeah. She said, that's not how I feel about him. I said, okay. I'm telling myself that. First, because I was giving him a couple of, probably only gave him a couple of fellatio a day. I could see that happening. So, all the doctors.
Where you see it hopping in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What the security is.
Yep, that's the security guard who had to go out of the country.
I have not seen Anufi
He was like, I don't care. So he's the country. So he said, what if he's getting married? I said, you said you didn't care. You tell him that? You didn't care if he got married as long as he was coming to the United States that
Yeah, you sound.
he was with
I'm
you.
glad our Comitate and Manners
He
did
said,
not deter you.
yeah, but I care now. He said,
I hope you will find my little ones. Perhaps they have been left at camps.
I have much to do to calm the clan.
you need to sit down. What's that? What's pushing the fight? What's that?
We all have things we regret.
Mm-hmm. This is the struggle with
You
the
look like
personality.
you have seen
He's like the
many.
same age as
Let
her.
me see what I can
They're
share.
both over 50. And so she's like, she's the one I was telling you, she's like, she's not so white. And his stuff. What the fuck? She's not what she did.
Step softly.
She's the one who's like, she lied. She paid for that
I
man
am
in car
happy to.
and telling everybody he bought it and he really didn't. So I can see that. She told her she stayed. She's like, she stayed. She's like, that shit was so fucking funny.
What?
I was like, she's dead ass serious. Like,
You
she
tell
really
you
telling
stink,
you stink.
and you sitting up there trying to joke about it.
She was laughing at
That's
her
because you
friend.
know you
Forest
you
with
stink.
you,
I'm
friend.
good. I was just saying, I said, me too. I was so laughing.
Wow.
And you know, I was laughing. I was like, girl.
You said you stink, and you ain't.
She said, yeah. And then she walked away. She was like, Edie. She was like, do you smell like you smell like really sour? And I said, well, I don't smell nothing coming off of her because I don't get that close to her like that. And she said, she's sitting right there next to me. I said, yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I said, but that was me. That's why I was thinking in my head, like,
Wow.
I sure was. I don't care. So, after that, she did it back to first hill one day, and oh my goodness, that sour smell she was talking about, I smelled that shit, and it was so stank.
Ugh.
I was like, what the fuck? I said, what the fuck is that smell? She was like, She said, what does it smell like? And I was like, it don't smell fresh. Ugh. And then she stepped back and she was like, I don't know what that smell is. She was like, I don't even smell it. And I said, I just like, girl, your nostrils look too bad. Because that shit was stinking. It was really focused. I was like, and then she made a comment, said something or whatever, and a girl was standing there and I said, something, something. I said, that what was it? Woo. And old girl looked at me and I looked at her and then she just sat there and I knew she didn't get it. And then the other girl looked at me and bust out laughing. I was like, yes, girl. She said, I smell it too. And then, oh, we was laughing so hard. Oh, my stomach was hurting so bad. She said, did I miss something? I said, apparently. Yeah. That shit was crazy. I was like, it's strange, but she's strange too. I was like,
She don't know better.
no, believe me, it's safe.
Why she be coming to work like that? She big?
No.
I can look at
Sometimes
this and see how it wants to be
that
shaped.
you don't know.
Is this why we
She
came?
probably like
No, I wanted you to
I don't
rest.
know,
To be
180.
with the forest without thinking of the
My
forest.
stomach's big though. But it ain't that big, but
Enough.
it's
We have
nasty
no
looking. Cause
qualms
she's
with your
wearing these tight
kind.
ass pants and shit. And her belly be overlapping the pants. I'm like, girl, your mama teach you how to dress. She's like, yeah, he likes it. And he says that. I'm like, girl, you should not like when you wear this or that. That's not okay. No, it's not like that.
Wear it in the bedroom.
Yeah,
That's what you like.
exactly. Because she
My
likes to
snare
have
did not
it.
catch. Or did the animal notice something I did not? I set the trap in the daylight. Sometimes you need to train, and sometimes you need to sit and watch the saplings grow.
I told her.
Visit this
She was like,
place. See what you may learn from it.
I said, you took a shower in 5 minutes? She said, yeah, it don't take that long. And I looked at her and she looked at me. I'm looking at her like, well, bitch, did you need soap? Because you could make me soap. Because you called me at 7:03 and was like, I'll be there in 8 minutes. But I'm going to get in the shower first. Literally.
She splashed water on her
To the
face.
job. She better here. That's what I think she did. Wetter here. It made it seem like she got in the shower.
That's what I said. She splashed water on her face. Wear her hair.
She would have like that shit too. I was like, oh, that's not cute. I was like, why you got that? She would have started one time. I think I was people so hard at their fire, like every time she moved, everybody saw it. And it was like, wow. And we looked at her, and I was like, no, the J champagne all out. Oh, girl just started cracking up laughing. She said, shut
The
up,
night calls me to
Jasmine.
my
I said,
rest.
no. I was like, I didn't mean to say it out loud. It just wasn't come out. She said, oh my gosh. She said, I thought I was the only one who saw that. And then here comes Kim was around the corner. She's like, what the hell is Olivia about? I said, skirt. She's stupid. She said, is that even appropriate for work? I said, technically no. I was like, but I guess we're here to wear what you want to wear. She said, why her stuff ain't on her? She got no
I
pennies.
must visit the mask
So
maker.
we've noticed.
That's crazy.
It's very crazy. I was like, Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All that for business.
But then how you gonna call yourself want some respect?
Yeah, that doesn't get no respect. Them doctors
You know what I'm saying? How
yeah.
you gonna call yourself want somebody to give you some damn respect?
They
You
don't
should
like that.
try doing it backwards.
Dr.
It
Cause
really
you ain't even
works.
Windmill,
respecting yourself.
right. Dr. Windmill don't like her. Dr. Barton don't like her. Dr. T, you know, he puts up with her. Um, Dr. Ambrose, he's been putting up with her for like the last 8, 9 years. He's getting frustrated with her shit too. Because when we be in Bellevue, I mean, when we in First Hill, like, he won't say shit to her. He just gives her a look like, when we be in Bellevue, people gonna hammer her ass. I'll be sitting there like, oh, I'll turn my head, get the typing on my
Move like the
computer.
wind, graceful and strong.
Type on my computer.
Mm-mm.
He'll be like, why are you asking me this? Why are you asking me the answer to this question? You already know this. Why are you asking me? And she'd sit there, she's like, I just wanted to check and make sure. And he's like, and how long have you been doing this? He said, this is too much. You shouldn't have asked me to answer a question. You already have the answer. I was like, He was like, one day he got so frustrated. She asked him something. He just stopped and stared at her. I just bust out laughing, babe. I'm
I miss
telling
the
you.
old stories.
He looked and just stared at her, and she said, what? He took the biggest sigh and said, he said, what would you do? He said, well, first I would blah, 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 blah. He said, what would you do? He said, blah, 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 blah. He said, so why are you asking me? He turned like, he came back with his cup of
Turn,
tea.
dip,
She was
spin.
so happy.
Turn,
And she looked,
spin.
and he just turned his head up like,
Uh,
don't say shit to me.
right.
So, yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I might warm myself by the fire for a while.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess it is people look like that. That's just funny. Came back to walk. He just walked and turned his head up like, don't say shit to me. He goes down with that dog for these people. And then people on the phone, they sit right next